Right, welcome everybody. Okay, so we're going to start talking and supporting our children for starting school in September. So I'm in the same boat. Just to give you a bit of background, I was an early years teacher, so I would be the reception teacher welcoming your child into the school in September. So I've been on that side of it, doing the tours around the school and things. And now it's my turn to go through it as my little boy is starting school in September too. So we're all going to go through it together. However, it doesn't matter if your child maybe isn't starting school, but maybe starting a earlier setting like a childminders or a preschool or something. You could probably still join in with lots of these activities and just adapt it to your child's needs, really. So to start us off, because this is going to be the first one in the series, every Friday I'm going to be posting a little video or an activity that you can start doing with your child, because I'm very keen when preparing our children for starting school, it is not all about learning their name, and it's not all about suddenly having to be able to recite the alphabet and write all their numbers to 10. It's actually not all about that. There are loads of other things that are involved in preparing our children for starting school, and it's also about preparing you as well, because it is a big deal for parents and carers too. And I know you will be feeling anxious as well, as I am. It's bound to happen. It's only natural. So I'm here to reassure you and your children, but there's lots of things that we can start doing just to start the ball rolling when thinking about our children starting school in September. So you may have heard, we've had our places from the schools already, haven't we? Hopefully they've been allocated. You may be going through the process of, appeal, sorry. You may be appealing it or whatever, but still you may be starting to talk about school and things. So if you have accepted your place, you'll probably have had some information from the school about maybe they've got some dates coming up, or when you can visit, when your child can visit. Maybe they're visiting your child in their preschool setting, maybe you've got home visit. They all do it slightly different. For anything with those, please try your very best. It's not always easy, but please, if you can, please try and attend all sessions that they offer, because the more visits you can do to that place, the better. And also just to start talking about the school and things. So like I said, you may be feeling a little bit anxious at this point. However, it's really important that our child doesn't see that. Now, I don't mean being completely false, because our children do see through that. However, it's just really important at this stage, when we do refer to going to school, starting big school, anything like that, that when you talk about it, that it's always in a really positive light. So it might be driving past and pointing out the school to them, that's going to be where they're going, or it could be, I don't know, if you're talking about, I was talking about books with Mason the other day, and I was like, you know, when you go to preschool, schools have lots of lovely books. You'll be able to choose loads of different stories. And it's just about being really positive and making them aware of different things. It's still a very abstract concept for young children about starting school and what that actually means, because they've never been through it before. But if you just start talking about it in a really positive light, it can be really beneficial. And like I said, make sure it's always really positive, with a smile on your face and really excited, because that's what the children need. Because it's to show them that it is a great thing. It's going to be great when they're at school, and really reassuring. So also, as you start to have these conversations, your children may start to have questions, and it's really important that you answer them if you can. Obviously, you're not going to know everything, but if they are asking questions, do try and find that time to answer them, maybe whether it's at bedtime or whether you're in the car or something like that. Always talk through things, and even if you are feeling anxious, try not to brush it aside and move away. Try and actually acknowledge your child's questions and things and go through them, because again, that's just reassurance. You may find that they're asking the same things lots of times, and that's maybe just a little bit of anxiety, trying to understand it, trying to comprehend what's going on. So there may be lots and lots of questions coming up. So it's all about, as always, lots of really clear communication with your children, and that should really help them. Okay, and as we're just starting off, I'm also going to recommend that you books are a really great way of introducing conversations with children. They can be a real conversation starter, and they can also help to explain new concepts really easily. So I do have some books here that I highly recommend. So before you jump on Amazon and start ordering, just a little reminder that you don't have to buy these books. You can also go and request them at the library, or maybe have a look and see if your preschool or nursery setting may have a few of these that you can borrow. So don't feel like you need to get them, and don't feel like you need to go get them all either. Just a couple would be absolutely sufficient. But now is a good time to maybe invest. If you are going to buy, you are going to order some, do it now, nice and early, because everyone's going to be starting to think about September. Do it now, get a little collection, so that every so often, not all the time, every so often, bedtime might be one of these books, or when you're having a bit of quiet time, you're curled up on the sofa, and you've actually got the time to talk them through. So I'm going to jot in the comments a book list that I recommend of books for you to get. I don't have all of them because mine are on order at the moment, and I have also requested some from the library, but I do have a small collection here that I highly recommend. And like I said, it's just really nice to curl it with your child. Don't need to read all of them, maybe just bits of them. There is one thing I want to say actually before I go through these books. I've looked at a few books in the past, and I'm going to show you one, for example, that's a really nice one, but there are elements I'm not sure about. This is Stuff to Know When You Start School. Really nice one by DK. It's great. It's got loads and loads in here. So I've done little bits with Mason, but not all of it. There's a lot of information going on in here. However, there are some pages in books, have a flick through them, and it is about needing to know your alphabet or tracing your name or the letters or something like that. I don't know if I can actually find one in here. It's nice because it's got the alphabet song. It's got lots of songs and signing and things, which is really nice. I don't think it actually has the tracing. Might have been another one I've seen where it's actually encouraging you to trace letters and things in the back. I'm going to talk to you another time about the alphabet, about numbers, about names, because yeah, they are brilliant skills for our children to have, but there are far more important skills that we want our children to practice before they start school. So it's not all about ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, okay? So just be aware that some of these books do say about needing to know that, and I don't actually agree with that, okay? But there are some lovely ones. So this is really nice. We've done a couple of pages of it already. Stuff to Know When You Start School, really nice one. Maisie Goes to Nursery, good old Maisie. There's also other little ones like Topsy and Tim, they do one as well, and I think there's a few of like starting school and stuff. There's a dragon at my school. I really like this one, just because it's talking about this dragon who does all like the naughty things, and it's a really nice way of talking about what we should do when we're in school and all these different things. And it's also got the different situations in school, so it's got lunchtime, it's got PE, it's got all those sorts of times. Really like that one, really light-hearted. And this is one of my favourites. Might be tricky sometimes to get hold of this one. The Kiss in Hand by Audrey Penn. Absolutely wonderful book. Brilliant for preparing your child for separating from a parent who may be feeling anxious about it. And it's a lovely way. It's got a really nice technique in there. So that is one of my, I think, one of the top ones that I would recommend. So there's a few here. I'm going to pop a few more in the comments, a bit of a book list. Like I said, don't feel like you need to get them all. Just 2 or 3 could be really beneficial for your child. And also have a look at your library. And then, what was the final thing I wanted to tell you? Oh yeah, and in the next few weeks I'm going to be covering more topics, more ways to prepare a child, and I'm also going to be linking some activities to some of the, not specifically to the books, but to some books and things. So I would highly recommend having a small book collection about starting school for your child, just to help them prepare it. So I hope that's helpful for week 1. It's all about lots of talking, and maybe get your book ordering if you can. Try and beat the rush, because everyone else will be doing it soon. All right, I hope that's helpful. There will be more videos coming every Friday up until September. So don't worry, it's all going to be fine. See you soon. Bye.